Once it got started, there was no stopping it. Firefighters got to the scene around 3 this morning, about 20 minutes after the fire started, and it was already getting out of control. The 82-year-old building was glowing orange from the inside, and all firefighters could really do was hose it down and stand back and watch. Fire Chief Phil Johnson says there was no way he'd send crews inside because of the extreme danger.
We're going to put this thing out from the outside in. If it takes 3 or 4 days to let it burn up, that's what's going to happen. I've advised the Chief of Police that the Highway District needs to be notified that the streets down here will be impacted for quite a while.
The big concern this morning was whether the outside walls of the building might collapse. In fact, this wall nearest the parking lot did collapse just after we took these pictures, sending bricks and burning wood across the parking lot. Firefighters stayed as far away as possible while still being able to do jobs.
When you look at a 6-story building having the possibility of collapsing, that's a major problem right there. We have the potential that something could split on the exterior of this building, and as it falls open, it just propels fire out. If you haven't seen it before, it's something that you'd want to see, but you'd want to see it from quite a distance.
When crews first arrived, they had to rescue a man from one of the upper floors. Police say a witness said there were fires started inside the building. They questioned the man taken from the building and another man who was waiting for him in a car in the alley. Right now, though, no one is charged, no one is in custody, and police say they're still investigating. The fire department will be investigating to see exactly how the fire began, but that'll be no easy task. They'll have to sift through tons of rubble looking for clues. McGilvery, Eyewitness News. The Eastman Building stood vacant for 10 years, but even so, there was a lot of traffic through it. On any Friday or Saturday night, you could find teenagers climbing into the building. Police say they either went in to just take a look around or to party. In fact, the Boise Fire Department found 2 19-year-olds at the building when they first arrived yesterday morning.
It was easy to get into. Everybody tried to keep it boarded up and closed up as well as they could, but it seemed like people kept finding ways to get back in there again. And it was used quite frequently.
Rob says he rousted kids out of there a lot of times, and kids weren't the only ones who frequented the place. The Eastman Building was also a place to sack out for some of Boise's homeless, and on a cold winter night, the chances of someone using the building for shelter were pretty good. Now the fire department is sifting through the rubble, and Fire Chief Phil Johnston says they'll be looking for human remains too.
We're going to have to look very carefully at the debris in the bottom. There is just no likelihood whatsoever we would find the remains from a human that was on the upper floors. Everything that was on the upper floors either was incinerated and released into the air as smoke, or the debris fell into the basement as the building burned down into itself.
Police say they haven't had any new missing persons reports in the past 2 days, but homeless people don't really have any place to be missing from. And chances are no one would report them as missing anyway. There may well be more than just bricks and wood in all this rubble. Tim McGilvery, Eyewitness News.
I feel bad enough for waking up Catherine. Oh, I don't.
How would you like the job of sifting through all these tons of brick and wood looking for anything that could be valuable? Well, that's the next step in salvaging historic items from what used to be the Eastman Building. Workers have already grabbed some of the clay lion's heads that lined the top of the building. None of them are completely intact, but they can be restored. All these piles are being trucked away to another location where historian Arthur Hart and others will perform kind of an archaeological dig. About the toughest part of this whole salvage operation will be taking down the Eastman Arch. Workers will have to take it apart piece by piece, and then once the BRA decides what they want to use it for, they'll have to put it back together again. The Boise Redevelopment Agency says the arch may be incorporated into a new building, or it may be used in an area park, but it will be used. The lion heads will probably be used on the fountain planned for the yet-to-be-built 8th Street pedestrian mall. This whole operation isn't coming cheaply. Estimates on the demolition are running somewhere around $10,000. That'll come out of the BRA's contingency fund. The city will have to spend a little money too. Yes, these damaged parking meters will be replaced. So what's the future of the Eastman lot? Well, don't count on anything new going up here for quite a while, except maybe a BRA parking lot toll booth. Brian Chase of the BRA says when construction of the convention center starts across the street, people will need some place to park. Just a week ago, BRA decided to renovate the Eastman Building. What they'll be able to salvage will be pretty meager compared with what they could have had. Tim McGilvery, Eyewitness News.